open up some Pandora's boxes.
I've got 30 minutes if you wanna spill your mind. Give me all your reasons to why I should take my time. Used to have forever, but you never cared that much.
Hey, what's up guys? It is your girl Kristyn and we are doing another conversation piece. So basically I started the life lessons with Kristynalexis, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna do another one. But this week we're gonna be talking about a life update. I don't think I've honestly ever done a life update on my channel, and I have been on YouTube for about 5 years, so it's probably time to do one. I asked my Instagram, I asked my Facebook, what do you guys want to know? And I got a bunch of questions back, so we're gonna go through them, and then I'm also going to sporadically place some things in here that I think would be interesting to you guys and just update you on my life for those who are interested. Let's get the wine out. I have my trusty glasses. I showed you guys these glasses before, so if you are interested in these, let me put it in front of you so you can kind of see. So if y'all are interested in these glasses, I will have a link below. I love these though, they're so pretty, even though you can see my fingerprints on them. And then today, we're gonna be drinking this wine that I got from the winery a few weeks back as well, Country Heritage. This is their Jolly Juice, perfectly in time for the holidays. And you guys, I did a taste test of this and it's definitely fire. So I'm going to have a half a glass of this with you guys. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. We're gonna have half a glass and get into some fun conversation. So go ahead and pull up your seat, turn off whatever else you have on, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, the first question, this is a softball. It is, am I gonna be doing a Chicago meetup next year? And definitely, Chicago is one of my favorite cities to visit. I absolutely love Michigan Avenue. My brother lives there, as you guys know. So that definitely is in the works. I for sure want to do it. I probably though will wait until it's warm outside so we can do it outside somewhere. But I just have to figure it out, so stay tuned for details if you're interested in meeting me and you live near the Chicago area. Okay, the next question is, any more kids with Brian? And no more kids. I'm all out of energy for children. I honestly have to admit, I'm really excited about life after having kids in the house. So no, we will not be starting over anytime soon. I think the only kids that Brian and I will have together will be our fur babies, okay? We probably will get more dogs at some point in our life, but that's it, no children. Also, you guys, this wine is so good. The other one I told you, it tastes like grape juice, very similar to what you would get at Communion. This is actually kind of similar, but it's a little bit lighter. So it's definitely a sweet wine, not too sweet, not too grape tasting, but it's delicious. Okay, so the next question is how to build yourself up after a breakup. And I think the easiest thing to say for this scenario, this situation, is you have to find things to focus your time on. You have to find things to focus your brain on, so you are not just totally obsessing about that situation that is no longer there. A breakup is literally like ripping a band-aid off of a wound, you know, and you feel that wound like throbbing and it's just there. You really just have to go through it. But for me, the easiest way to go through something like that is to stay busy. Like, it's pretty simple, just stay busy. I think there's like a time limit that the human body goes through where stuff like that gets to you, and then after so long, which I've heard people say 2 years, and I really honestly believe that that's probably pretty accurate, but I would definitely say just go through the motions. And sometimes when you don't feel like doing other things, you don't feel like thinking about other things, just do it. Do the things you don't feel like doing and you will just get into the motion, and then it will take your mind off of that breakup, that situation, and you'll be able to move on. Okay, so the next question is, what are goals for my career and my career trajectory? Do I see myself in the same role / field? And you know, this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently, like a lot. And I think honestly, mainly because I've been doing a lot of research into things like Metaverse, investing, just trying to stay up on what is happening in the world. I recently was was on live on Instagram talking with you guys about the new telescope that the United States is about to put into space, and just thinking about all these really amazing things that are happening in this world, and just asking myself, do I want to be a part of something like that? And I do honestly want to pursue more in my career. I have kind of gone back and forth between, do I want to pursue being an entrepreneur, or do I want to press in when it comes to corporate? And I really feel like for me, I do feel very fulfilled in corporate America, but it is a little bit different being at home and working from home. I just have to say that. So it's hard to feel super locked in and enjoy the experience of corporate when you are remote for me. Like I just don't know what it is about it, but being home, it's doable, I can get my job done, but it doesn't give me the same excitement as being in person. So that has been an honest struggle that I've kind of gone back and forth on. And then I have to just admit, like, my same role career, I don't want to continue doing exactly what I'm doing. I would love to branch out and just, like I said, get into either something that's a little bit more exciting, where I feel like I'm adding more value to this world, and I hope my organization has some things in the cooker that are like that. But I don't know, I feel like life is short, and if you can make an impact with your life, which I know I'm doing that on YouTube, but I long for more, and I just cannot put my finger on what that thing is. So when I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, I just don't know what it is, you know? I just do not know what that thing is. I will say I definitely want more. I would love to promote. I would love to take on more responsibility, but I know if I do that, I'm gonna have to give up something else. Like, it might end up being less YouTube or something else that I'm doing on the side, but I do know that I definitely want more. And we're gonna take a quick sip to that, okay? That's so good. Okay, the next question is, how did you land your first job after earning your MBA? Advice for upcoming graduates. So, it's actually pretty simple. I did basically, I would say 3 things. The first thing is, my school, I was blessed that my school had companies that would come on campus, would put jobs on our job board, and we could apply for those jobs. So that was one thing I did a lot. The second thing is, I went to career fairs. There are 2 career fairs that I've mentioned on my channel a few times in the past. One of them is National Black MBA Association. They do a career fair on an annual basis every fall. And then there's National Hispanic MBA Association, and they are exactly just pretty much the same with a different focus. And they also have their career fair every year in the fall. So I went to both of those. I had so many opportunities, so many interviews, offers, everything. I got my internship from National Black, I believe it was, and I interned at Amgen, which is a biotech company, and it was an amazing experience in Thousand Oaks, California. I then went on, and for the job that I acquired, I actually got that job from applying on the school board. They had posted the job that I applied to on my campus's website, and that's how I got my actual post-MBA job. But there's one more thing I did that I do want to share with you guys, is I knew coming from pharmaceuticals that I wanted to go into healthcare. I explored other industries, but I ended up just really setting my heart back on healthcare and knowing that I could leverage my experience for that. So what I did is I would go through like biotech, pharmaceuticals, medical device, and I made a list of all of the top companies. I would do like top 10 companies. And over Christmas break, between my first and my second year, I applied for jobs. I didn't do anything else for a few days, and I just sat there and applied for every single job that I felt like would be a fit for somebody like me coming out of school. I didn't get callbacks from everybody, but I got a lot of callbacks. I got flued out. I'm just playing. I did fly out to do a number of interviews. Ended up having 3 offers. I had one offer with Thermo Fisher for $100K. I ended up having the offer that I accepted, and then I had one more offer with what's the company? Gallup. So the company that does the Gallup poll, I had an offer with them as well for a consulting role, which was an amazing opportunity as well. Like, all the roles were so good. And you figure that was 10 years ago, starting out basically at about 6 figures. Like, all of those offers coming out of MBA were basically 6 figures. So if you just do the math, it's been about, 10 years at about 3 to 6% raise every year. Like, you can do really good if you get your MBA from a reputable school. So I just want to throw that little bit of plug out there for those of you who are considering doing something like that. But that's how I got my job post my MBA program. The next question is, how am I enjoying the mentee program? And I have to say, I love it. I love the fact that I've been able to meet and talk to so many people who are the same as me, trying to push themselves to the next level. However, I will say I'm trying to also push myself. I want to offer more for this program. I started it off as lives once a month where we would talk about different topics. However, I really want to offer more. So this week I decided I'm going to also do sit down videos that are exclusive for that particular part of my channel, where those people can get more conversation, but it's not going to be a live, but where they can come, they can tap in, they can get the conversation, and then they have access to watch those videos again if they would like. So all of those videos, I do not put ads on them. It's just content that's exclusive for my members, because I want it to be a place where they can go and get edifying content that helps to push them to the next level. So am I enjoying the program? I am, and I just really want to make sure that it is the best that I can make it and that everyone is getting the value from it that they're expecting. The next question is, how is my budget debt-free journey going? And I would say it's going pretty good. However, I did stop talking about it on YouTube, mainly because I feel like when I would talk about it, people would come and be like, oh, you eating out, that's not what Dave would do, or oh my gosh, you bought an outfit, that's not what Dave would do. And it was starting to just be kind of like just annoying. I'll just call it what it is. It was starting to get annoying, and I just feel like for me, like I said when I first started it, I wanted to do this, I wanted to be more structured, but at the same time, I know for me, I would not be happy doing Dave's plan for a few years and depriving myself of everything that I do enjoy. Like I felt like I wanted to do it, but do it in moderation. So I don't know, I kind of got tired of hearing that. So I just stopped talking about it on my channel. And I figured when I get to the point where I have even more significant results, I'll probably will do an update, but I'm not going to just continue talking about it like I was when I first started, because I'm just really not trying to hear the judgment around every little thing I do when I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of not being crazy with my money. So that's why I stopped talking about it, but it's going really good, and I definitely feel a lot better than I used to when I was just spending money on everything that I saw, you know what I mean? Like it was getting out of hand. The next question, I love this question, and it is, how is my life changing for the better, and what do I look forward to in 2022? And I will say, I feel like my life is changing for the better because I have a better focus on the things that, in my opinion, are important. My family, my health, also trying to elevate and build financial freedom for my family. That is really important to me. I want to work hard now while I'm young and I have it in me to do these things so that I don't have to work as hard later. And I really want us to be positioned to be in a place where we don't have to worry, you know what I mean? Because I remember in my life worrying about money. I remember in my life feeling fear, you know, about what if I lose my job, or what if XYZ happens, and to have that freedom and not have that feeling anymore is an absolute blessing. So I would say like that, in my opinion, is what I feel like has changed for the better. But for 2022, I'm just excited to start over again. You know what I mean? Like for me, I do look at every new year as like a fresh start. I know some people like talk about it and they're like, the new year, oh my gosh, it's so cliche. But in my opinion, I do think that having that new year is a great place to like draw a line in the sand and start over. So I just want to be more diligent about my goals and about the things that for me I have said are important for my life, so that I can make sure anything that is not adding value to those things I can remove. And, you know, I was listening to Aaliyah Face's recent sit down video, and she talked about what for her, like what she sees herself and her channel as. And I will say, watching Aaliyah, that's the one thing that I have taken away. So I definitely think she hit the nail on the head. And she was saying it's like her discipline and how in each area of her life, like she has certain things she does, and she just, I don't know, like when I see her, I do feel like I look at myself and go, wow, I do a lot. And I know our lives are different, but at the same time, she is really diligent in different areas like health and her fitness, and even just putting her outfits together. Like that takes time and thoughtfulness. You know what I mean? And doing things with intention. And I want to get better. Like I've tried, and sometimes I feel like I have failed miserably at trying to do that. But that's something I definitely for 2022 want to do better. Do everything with intention, and anything that I feel like distracts from that, remove it, and not waste time doing the silly things. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have those things we waste time on. And I do think you should have time to let your hair down and just have fun and all of that. But at the same time, like, there's certain things that we do that we know is just wasting time. It's not adding no value to our lives. And we could be really focused on pressing in and doing everything that we can with excellence. Okay, so this question is, do I think I will do YouTube full time? And for me, no, not right now at least. Like right now I don't have a plan to do YouTube full time. I would love to do YouTube full time, but for me, I just feel like unless I was totally debt free, unless our family had so much money saved up, I couldn't see myself walking away from a career that I worked so hard to get for YouTube, because like I just think YouTube could change any day, and it's nice, and it's really nice for me to have both incomes. Like it's just really nice to have my primary income that if I need, like Brian gets our insurance, so thankfully I don't have to worry about insurance for my primary job. But at the same time, for me, it's just nice to have the security of the real job and then the bonus job, which is extra to help get out of debt and help to do the little things that I try to do around the house, stuff like that. So that's why a lot of times you guys hear me say I did this, because I feel like I look at the YouTube money as extra, and then we have our jobs which take care of everything else around the house, like the house bills and all that stuff. So I just don't see myself removing the permanent job for YouTube unless I was really, really, really financially free. And with all these kids, y'all, I just don't think I'm there right now. Like, it's just something when you have a kid in college. I am the one who supports my son. I am the one who makes sure he has money on the weekends and makes sure his school is taken care of. So it just would be hard to walk away, you know what I mean? And know he's out there, and then the boys still need stuff. Like it's a lot to think about, and I just don't think that I'm there right now. Now, if I was as big as Aaliyah, I would be considering it, but hopefully one day in the future, and we're gonna drink to that. How is balancing it all? Marriage, kids in school, your career is hard. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like I'm juggling a lot of balls and I'm not doing a good job at it. I definitely feel like there are times where I drop the ball on certain things, and I'm trying harder to be better about not doing that and not taking on more than I can really do and really handle. It's just something to be said, and for those of you out there who are really, really driven, I know you can relate, but it's like you feel like there's so many things you want. And for myself, I'm so used to just going hard and like just running full sprint after whatever it is I'm working on. But at the same time, when you have so many things that are dependent on you, it's really hard to do everything with excellence. So I definitely think I need to come back and start to prioritize for next year and make sure that I do a better job at everything that's on my plate and start delegating things I think that I cannot handle. Like next year, I definitely think it's gonna be time to get a maid because I just don't know how I can continue to cook, clean up, do YouTube, do my regular job, make sure my kids are tended to, have conversations with them and encourage them, and talk to my husband and take care of the dogs. Like, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a balancing act, and I don't think I'm doing a great job at everything. Like, I feel like I'm doing a good job at a lot, and then there's certain areas that I wish I was doing better at. But we're gonna do better for 2022, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have anything that I really wanna let go or push to the side. And then another question is, how do I feel about the new metaverse coming up? And it says, FYI, I need you on our podcast too. So I kind of shared in my last vlog. If you haven't watched that vlog, definitely go check it out. But I did kind of share in that last video my thoughts on metaverse and why I think it's something we should all be checking out. But since then, I've had a chance to do even more research, and I've just seen so many different ways that this technology, that this idea can impact a lot of things that we already are doing in our lives. Like, for example, corporate America, okay? I have my desk right here. We get on Zoom, we have conversations, you're looking at the screen, you've got your mic or your phone, you're talking to the people and you see them on screen. But metaverse could make it where you could actually put on a headset and go into the room and sit in the room with everyone in the meeting. You could draw on the whiteboard. You could literally have a meeting experience right there in your house. Like, there's no need to go to work anymore. You could literally be sitting in person and having meetings together, just like when you would drive and commute to corporate. So, and Facebook has already been doing this. They've been doing this for quite some time. So for me, like, the metaverse, I just think it unlocks so many opportunities for a lot of different things that we probably can't even begin to imagine. And I definitely think it's a few years out, but I also am thinking a lot about metaverse from the perspective of investments, which I did share in my last video as well. But I am also looking for opportunities to invest my money in companies like Facebook or Unity. You know, the ticker for Unity is U. There's another one, I think it's like Matter World or something like that. I'm gonna actually look it up and tell you guys real quickly. But I have a number of companies that I have recently found that are in this space. So I'm for sure looking for places to get in. Roblox is one. Autodesk is one. Matterport is one. And their ticker is MTTRW. And then Meta is an ETF. So it's META. Meta is an ETF that also is in this space. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity. Definitely think this is going to be a space that we are going to want to be looking at, and I'm for sure looking for opportunities to invest. So these are my initial thoughts about, you know, metaverses, Facebook. I think the whole thing is really cool. Definitely has some parts about it that make me very, very nervous thinking about my kids. But at the same time, I'm trying to have an open mind and see what it really is going to be. I also think from a religious perspective, there's some things to think about for sure. This could open up some Pandora's boxes. It makes me also think about Black Mirror. If you haven't watched Black Mirror on Netflix, they explore all of these topics on that show. So go check Black Mirror out, shameless plug, even though it's not my show. But definitely check it out because they have already they've already talked about all of this, and it's just pretty mind-blowing. I can't think of the one, but it was the one with the guys where they'd go into this metaverse and they would play the game together. That one was trippy. It was real trippy. So I think metaverse is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's definitely kind of crazy as well. Okay, so let me just look. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing my phone already, but here's another one. It says, how is it starting over with your eldest son and having the twins be so far apart in age? I know this is not a current update. I just think it happens a lot, and I wanted to know how your experience is or was. Yeah, so having my oldest and then having the twins so far apart was crazy. And it wasn't planned like that. It was not planned like that at all. But I definitely think it made it easier because, one, you have this older child that's able to help. So having twins is hard. Like, you literally, your arms are full. Sometimes you need somebody to go grab this or go grab that or hand me this or grab this baby so I can get up. Having a child that was that much older was a lot of help. It was so helpful. Definitely was it was nice from my perspective. Arius may disagree because he was the one having to get up and do some stuff he probably didn't want to. But at the same time, it was definitely really nice from that because having him to help support the little things, that was just, I can't say it enough. The other thing is twins, even though they're a lot of work, if you get them on a schedule together and you do everything on schedule, put them to sleep, feed them. If one goes to the bathroom, change the other one. If one wants to eat, feed the other one. If one wakes up, wake the other one up. You do everything together. That made it so much easier as well. So twins actually weren't that bad, especially because they would play together, and then it just took a little bit of pressure off of you to always be entertaining your baby. If you have two babies and they entertain each other, it makes it so much easier as a parent to take care of them. And then when you have the older child, it just was a win-win, except for when they get older and they start fighting. That's a whole nother story. But it was pretty, I will say, the twins, in my opinion, were probably a little bit easier than just having one. Okay, the next question is, what about Brian? What was it about Brian that made you say he was the one? That's a really good question. Honestly, I think it was that we just are a pretty good fit. There are things where we do disagree about, but overall we're a really good fit. We don't argue. We don't really get into it. We just get along really great. We have great conversation. He has pushed me to think differently about a lot of things. He has pushed me to not be judgmental, just to think differently about a lot of different areas of my life. And I feel like that's what you should be looking for out of a relationship. He also makes me feel very safe. So that was really important to me. I did not feel like I ever had to worry about him. And from experience, I used to have a very jaded perspective of men and what they were capable of. And you know, you hear people say all men cheat, or all men do this, or all men do that. Brian changed my perspective on a lot of things about what I thought all men do. And that was just mind-blowing, you know. And when you meet someone who you gravitate to and it just is like easy, it really is a game changer, you know what I mean? So that was what, for me, that really made me feel like he was the one, because I've never met anyone before that just felt like such a good fit and who made everything easy. Everybody loves Brian. And you also, like, there was a quote I put in my story today, which basically said something along the lines of like, when you meet a man, you should pay attention to how he treats everyone else as well. And I just will say, when seeing Brian, like, he treats people with so much respect. He's such a good person that really caught my attention, you know. And you just don't always see that, especially nowadays. People can be real interesting, and just seeing how he treats everybody around him, from his mother to his kids to anyone he meets on the street, when we go out to dinner, whatever the case may be, like, he just is a really, really good person. And you don't find a lot of people who just fit like that anymore. Like, I don't know, it was just easy. So that was how I knew Brian was the one, is he just made it really, really easy. Okay, someone says, not being nosy, but did you get divorced and get back together? No, definitely not. So when we separated, that was it. We literally separated, and there was no more conversation from that day forward ever about us. Like, we never kissed, or just, it was just over. Like, from that day, it was over. And unlike, I know some people will talk about like circling back or having access to their exes, never. Like, we just never ever went there, and that was it. I think we unfortunately, which sometimes it can be like this, but we kind of went from like, at first we were getting along to almost being like enemies, you know? So that was really tough, and I'm hoping that maybe one day things will get a little bit better. But yeah, we never circled back. That was it. When it was over, it was over. It was a wrap, okay? It's like getting dark outside while I'm talking to you guys. Like, let me turn this, okay, that's a little bit better. It's like so dark. I started talking, and then it just like was like, bam, it's dark out. So I feel like I answered a lot of questions about my life and what I'm thinking about. I definitely think right now I have been putting a lot of pressure on myself to just level up. And what I mean by that is, like, we had entertained the thought of moving homes last year, didn't end up doing it. So there's a lot of things around the house that I want to do. There's a lot of things personally I want to do for myself. I want to, obviously, like we talked about with the debt thing, I want to finish getting out of debt. I want to have so much money saved. And all of those things to me are just things that I'm focused on, and I really passionately want to get them done. So it's been kind of hard, because I feel like at times on YouTube there can be this pressure to just be a part of YouTube and doing certain things that right now for me, my brain is not there. So I always feel like I'm apologizing to you guys for talking about stocks and for talking about the things that I think about all the time. Like, these are things I'm always thinking about. And there was even a point where I was like, there's so many things in the house I want to do. I've talked about it with you and I haven't done it yet. And it's because there's certain things I'm trying to do in order. But at times on YouTube, it just feels like you want to have good content, you want to have new content, and I wish I could be doing those things in that order, but it just doesn't line up with me and my life in the real world. And I just cannot let YouTube pressure me. And I'm not saying you guys are, but just like that pressure of wanting to just keep leveling up on YouTube. Like, I have to focus on my real life and the things I'm trying to do decently in order on my real life. And that has been my biggest priority. So I hope you guys can kind of understand that. I hope you can appreciate that and hopefully even relate to it, because I do think that is like super, super just relatable. You know what I'm saying? So With that, I am going to close the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. I've never done one of these, so I'll see how it comes out editing wise, and if I do another one in the future, we may tweak it a little bit and just hopefully level it up from that perspective too. But thank you guys so much. I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. And if you're new to my channel, you've learned a lot about me in this video, so you might as well go ahead and subscribe so you do not miss any of my videos in the future. But with that, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Baby, I've been thinking about the things we said. Oh yeah. And maybe